Yes, guys, welcome back to the weekly roundup. It's week 24. I'm joined obviously by Cryptoinsightuk, and we've got a tasty week for you. Very
Yeah.
tasty week. Obviously, we've got news, but it's going to be a bit of an XRP focused kind of podcast, I'd say, I think, because for the right reasons. If you've been living under a rock, the price has been going mental. There's been a lot of news, a lot of speculation coming out, but we'll get into it. But there's
Oh, baby.
a lot of news, isn't there, Will?
Here we go.
It's finally heating up. It feels, you know what, as an XRP holder, it finally feels a bit like I feel privileged to hold XRP because it's a bit exciting for a change. Like normally, like when everything else pops off, XRP is just kind of getting like suppressed a bit. We don't really kind of get to enjoy the price action as much as other people. But
yeah, no, I
the
agree.
tables have changed. The tables have changed.
Yeah, exactly, bro. And some people have been saying like
But
online, some people were saying online like, don't get excited too fast or whatever. And I'm saying, bro, we've seen some green for the first time in ages. This is a double-digit green day. These don't happen very often as any holder for any crypto or any asset in the world. So you get them days, you've got to enjoy it, whether it's different tomorrow or not. Enjoy the day because you sit there and look at it long enough when it's red or going sideways, consolidating. So when you're actually having a green day, you've got to enjoy it. I've eaten a lot of ice cream today.
Treating yourself. But yeah, we're gonna get into price action towards the end anyway, so I guess we'll crack on. But we'll just cover the stories first anyway. First one, obviously, we had the FOMC meeting, and they did increase interest rates by 75 basis points, which we kind of knew, everyone kind of expected that was going to happen. Bit of speculation that was going to go up by like 100, but we didn't. Price action didn't really, obviously it dipped, I think, initially, but it recovered fairly quickly because everyone kind of knew it was coming. But I'm not going to speak about it too much because I think Will's covering it in the newsletter this week as well, so we don't want to divulge into it too much.
My thoughts on it and like what people were thinking pre the hike, what people I think are feeling now. So yeah, we'll just leave that there. But we always want to report on that because it is pretty important.
Yeah, pretty important. The next two are just pretty nothing breaking. It's just shows examples of like blockchain technology getting incorporated into real life again, like we've been saying. So we've got a big, obviously, Algorand are big partners with FIFA. These guys, they're heavily involved in the World Cup, etc. And you can now basically get memories in the form of packs. So Will just bought two. Unfortunately, you got the same pack twice in a row, which is very unfortunate.
Yeah,
but you basically own a memory basically of World Cups, any football, whether it be men's or women's. It's pretty cool. Saves, not just goals, anything. So pretty cool to see as football fans that we are as well. It's pretty interesting to see. I probably will be buying a couple just to have a dabble in it.
Well, Pavlov,
but yeah, just a bit of fun there as well.
Pavlov's a bit of Ultimate Team, and when he sees how you open the packs on here, he's going to be all over it. I'm telling you now, like I've got a video on my phone. I was going to release it on TikTok later of me opening the pack, and it's pretty Ultimate Team like / Apex Legends sort of vibes is what I'd say for all the gamers out there.
Like comes out, spins, flares, fireworks.
Yeah, a little bit like that. And then, bro, I pay for 2 different packs, and I get the exact same pack twice. And I thought, oh, maybe it's glitched.
Yeah, that's no good.
That's fucking awful.
Yeah, that's no good. Expecting at least a goal or something. Next thing that we'll quickly touch on is Cardano. Obviously, I spoke about this in the newsletter, not this specific story, but they've got their Vassal update happening. I think Will said it was 9 hours, so that's all kicking off today as well. Like I won't cover it too much because it's in the newsletter, but another thing that they've obviously been cracking on with is a partnership with the Georgian National Wine Agency. Just again, it's just I wanted to bring it to you guys' attention, just to bring into the fact that you've got these blockchain technology being incorporated into everyday life to basically test the authenticity of the wine and quality of it. We've seen it with I think VE Chain are doing something similar with clothing, the clothing side of it. I'm pretty sure, or well, that's the whole point of VE Chain, I think. Anyway, but it's a pretty good example anyway. But moving on from that to a bit of an interesting one. Nothing really. I don't know how much substance there is to the story because obviously, like I think we spoke about, obviously Binance doing the exact same thing with EX have just reported here, like either last week or the week before. But WazirX have also delisted USDC, USDP, and TUSD, which are the exact same ones that Binance delisted. So I'm not sure what's going on here. I don't know if there is any, like I said, substance or any like story behind this or anything like that. But it's just a bit odd to see.
Yeah, I don't actually know what USDP and TUSD are, so I haven't, not off the top of my head. So maybe TUSD is like Tron's US dollar is what I'd absolutely guess at, but what USDP DP is, I don't know. But then they're obviously small caps, I've never used them. But USDC again being like delisted or whatever they're doing with it, haven't like you said, I've not dived into it too deeply. But again, there's no mention of Tether, so a bit of a strange one in my opinion.
It's odd. It's just odd. And then just to add to that as well, USDC was listed onto Robinhood. So there's a lot of movement in like these stable coins. Sorry. So like I said, I don't know. Maybe I'm just reporting it just to see if anything does come out in the future in terms of why they're doing it or whatnot. But at the moment, it's just people listing it and delisting it at the same time, which is just a bit coincidental for me.
Yeah, and then obviously this week there's been that Tether report that Tether have got to file their papers to the New York judge. What exactly is going on there, we don't really know because the sources haven't been that good, and I think it's about to start raining here. It is about to start raining, so I need to just move. But I don't know if you'll still be able to hear me properly, so let me just move over it.
Let's see.
But anyway, yeah, sorry, go on.
Let's see. This is what happens when you live in Bali, guys.
This is what happens.
The climate is really unpredictable, and when it rains, it pours.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So we need to make sure you can still hear me, but let's continue. Tell me if you can hear it.
Yeah, I think we're right. But another story too that came. Has it not started yet? You can feel it coming.
Yeah.
Oh boy. I think it'll be alright. I'll let you know if I can hear it. Okay. But Nasdaq rolls out cryptocurrency service focused on institutional investors. Again, pretty good to see things like this happening. Nasdaq being the second largest stock exchange in the world, obviously, to officially enter the cryptocurrency market. Pretty big news in my opinion, actually.
Yeah.
It's going to give like institutions like it says here a lot more exposure, a lot more access to cryptocurrency. Whether I'm not sure if it's launched or if it's planning to launch or what stage it's in, but this is just what I've read on it so far. But it's a pretty big opportunity for people to get involved in crypto anyway. And like I said, it's Nasdaq, so it doesn't get bigger than that.
When I first saw it like reported, it was as if they were going to offer cryptocurrency, but I think it's just like to look after crypto for institutions essentially, to be like asset managers.
Oh, is it?
But I'm not sure. So okay. I haven't dug into it too deeply. But it's still obviously a massive like legacy financial institution getting involved, or group getting involved.
That's the point, isn't it?
Yeah. Can you hear the rain?
Okie doke. A little bit. It's not really bad.
Okay.
I think people will be able to follow with it. I think there's a little bit of noise in the background, but it's alright. But yeah, so another thing, SEC hitting the headlines again this week, and this isn't actually due to Ripple for a change. It's just a lot of people kind of speculating, I think, earlier on in the week or a few days ago, that because the SEC made it clear that Ethereum isn't specifically under US government jurisdiction. So people were kind of trying to put two together and say, maybe Ethereum aren't going to get this free pass that everyone thought they were going to get, and the SEC are now going after them. Straight after the merge, they're going to essentially go in after them, but they haven't. Nothing's been confirmed whether they have or dropped a lawsuit on Ethereum yet. But what do you think about that? Do you think they'll do anything?
Yeah, it's a bit crazy because they basically said that the majority of Ethereum's like nodes and trades happen within the US, therefore it's a US entity. So I just think like someone made a great point to me today. We talked about it. A crypto a developer who I spoke to today. They made a great point. And they said, does that mean that because like most of the rainforest is in Brazil, that they own every other rainforest in the world?
That's true. That's quite a good comparison when you put it like that.
Yeah, I know. But and I was like, well,
I don't know. It depends.
I really don't know.
Yeah, like,
Can you hear the rain?
like I said, there's no substance to it. A little bit, yeah.
It's hammering it down.
Yeah, it sounds like it's just like someone's pouring a bucket of water like next to you or something.
I'm gonna show the podcast the rain. I don't know if you can see it on the pool. You might be able to. But I've got nowhere to go because if I go to my room, just so everyone knows in the podcast, if I go to my room I don't get signal, so the show goes on. The show goes on.
Yeah, so the show does go on, guys. So if it is bothering you, we apologise, but we've got some news to get into, and we'll start moving over towards Ripple because
this is where it gets
it's been kicking off this week.
And we've got it. Oh, what? Obviously. How relevant is the rain? Like, obviously, the smallest denomination of XRP is called a drop. Ripple, liquidity, water, rain. Lights out.
We didn't plan it, lads. We didn't plan it, guys. It's happening. It's just happening. Just know it's happening. But the first bit of news to come out in Ripple and all that good stuff is the expansion, of their partnership with Aramit in the Philippines. They're just obviously one of the earliest adopters, and they're just expanding their ODL to improve their internal treasury management. So pretty good. Some people were tying XRP's price action to this, but I don't know. I think there's a bit more going on, but like I said, we'll save that towards the end. But nonetheless, again, bullish news on Ripple's behalf, and perfect time to kind of be releasing bullish news like this when there's a lot of speculation going on with the SEC case. Speaking about the SEC,
mate, there's so many
something
things
else
that happened
this week. We had the commissioner here of the CFTC visit Ripple Labs, and I'm pretty sure there's a picture somewhere of her and Brad Garland house somewhere.
Her and Big Bad Brad.
I won't be able to find her and Big Bad Brad. I'm not going to be able to find it now. I've probably gone past it.
Brad,
but no, it's just again a bit. Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know what to make of this story either, because it's just obviously there's nothing that's come out about it. It's just interesting to see the CFTC commissioner go towards Ripple, when a lot of people are arguing that these kind of assets should be under their management anyway, opposed to the SEC. So again, it's just a bit of food for thought, maybe a bit of speculation from our behalf again. What are your thoughts on it? Do you think anything?
I don't know. I think that Aramit thing's interesting, that a long-term ODL partner have now moved their treasury to be able to access ODL. So I think that's interesting. And then I think it's interesting timing that you get a CFTC commissioner publicly being photographed and stuff at the Ripple office when they've got this going on with the SEC. I think it's very interesting because I'm sure commissioners and stuff visit the Ripple office all the time. But why do it now, and why make it a big deal that you get having a picture with Brad Garland house, etc. at the Ripple office and that sort of thing? Maybe the CFTC are trying to send a message to the SEC, or who knows, but there's definitely something more to that, because I don't think it's just coincidental timing, because if it was, I don't think they'd be splashing it everywhere in terms of pictures, because I think that if you're just going to go and visit because you want to just discuss whatever you want to discuss about commodities, about crypto, whatever they might have been discussing, when you're in such a high profile lawsuit, you don't really want to be if you're in Ripple's position, I wouldn't be throwing blooming fuel onto the fire. So, I don't know. It's an interesting one to me.
Yeah, it is an interesting one. Like you said, obviously with everything that's going on with the court case, for them to come out and publicly make everyone aware oh look, we've got a CFTC commissioner at our HQ. It's a bit of an odd thing to do, really. But whether there's more to it, we shall find out.
We shall.
But the main thing we obviously want to discuss this week is this whole thing to do with the summary judgment. So obviously, so first of all, SEC filed it early. No one really knows why. Maybe it was just to kind of maybe catch Ripple off guard. But Ripple already, they filed back there straight away, immediately in response. I think it was due to be, obviously, like I said there, it was expected on Monday, but they were filed early. Very interesting these were, as normally when James Phelan tweets, it kind of just goes straight over my head because of the law jargon that they use, etc. This gets a bit too technical for me. But obviously, if you guys are in the same boat as that, go check out Jerry Mahogan's video, this one here, because he does a really good job explaining it, and it's actually really interesting to know what's going on. Even if you're not invested in XRP or you don't really care about the SEC versus Ripple, it's actually quite interesting because obviously, so this is the way I see it. As I don't spend all my time obviously looking into it, but so the SEC kind of listed what everyone expects them to list, why they think XRP is a security, etc. Nothing kind of stuck out, but XRP/Ripple, sorry, no, they kind of came in a completely different angle, kind of threw a curveball towards the SEC, and kind of were attacking the issue at source, I'd say, because they were kind of trying to go down the route of what constitutes an investment contract. So basically they were just arguing how can you apply the Howey test to something that isn't even an investment contract. That was basically the kind of the majority of their brief, which caught me off surprise, because I didn't think they'll do that, because I just think they were going to just kind of continue with their arguments about that, trying to go towards him in emails, maybe trying to use that as like a backup. But now they've just completely gone down a completely different route, and they've caught the SEC off guard, I'd say.
Yeah, I think so. The SEC spent all their time saying that Ripple raised money selling XRP, and that XRP holders were going to rely on the actions of Ripple to basically profit from XRP. And then Ripple have basically said, well, what is the Howey test? How does an investment contract work? And we've never signed any contract with anyone to do with the price of XRP, so how have we violated any laws? You can't come through and basically make your own laws, essentially what Ripple's saying.
Yeah, it's true. In Hogan's video, I think he said, in order for something to be an investment contract, the Ripple in this case needs to have some post-investment, I can't remember the terminology is used, it's some sort of care towards the investors after we've bought XRP. So he kind of used the example of, okay, let's see if Ripple dropped XRP right now and it picked up XLM.
Yeah.
Would you be able to do anything about it? And the answer to that is no, because we haven't signed any investment contract with Ripple. We've just kind of bought the asset kind of thing. Exactly. And I know we're biased towards XRP/Ripple, but you can't really argue with that. When I was watching the video, I was thinking that's really clever.
That's what I've been thinking the whole time, is as much as the SEC and the way Ripple raised funds might be not right, I don't know about any of that, I'm not a lawyer, but what Ripple are saying is, and what Jeremy Hogan's saying is, well, if the law says that you have to have some sort of reliance on them and you have to be able to legally take them I'd have to be able to take them to court if they just drop the asset. I wouldn't, because I never signed any contract with Ripple. I bought XRP as an asset in itself. So it's a good point. I'm going to be interested to see what the SEC find in response.
This is what I mean. Didn't they? I'm pretty sure the SEC actually asked for a bit of an extension. Did they? I think pretty sure I've seen that.
Yeah, only because the digital, what are they called? The Chamber of Digital Asset Association.
Yeah, I think so. Something like that.
They wanted to file an amicus brief, so similar to what John Deaton filed, and then the SEC said, oh, if anyone else wants to get involved in the case, then we want an extension to have a look at what they're saying. And then Ripple basically just said, no, that's not fair. Ripple haven't asked the Digital Chamber of Commerce or whatever they're called to come in. They're just coming in anyway, and the judge I think granted them to write something. So it's just the SEC want to delay again, bro.
We'll see what comes out of that. Yeah, this is what I'm trying to say there. I feel like this summary judgment that Ripple filed kind of left them a bit stumbled, the SEC a bit stumbled. Now they're looking for, trying to pick at straws now kind of thing, trying to get as much time as they can to respond to it. But the judge, this kind of brought on this kind of topic here, which could be potentially the reason why XRP's price is going nuts at the moment, because, well, I think it could be a bit of everything. I'm not too sure what it is. Not that I'm complaining, but the SEC and Ripple call for immediate ruling over in the lawsuit, basically, because they're basically saying there's enough information out there. Judge should be able to make a decision basically on the case. So it's heating up. That's the only thing I can say. It's heating up, and it's finally, I know I've probably thought this before, it's getting to that point where I feel like something has got to budge now, and we can kind of see over the past 7 days we've seen massive movements in XRP's price chart. We'll bring it up now, actually. Might as well get into it.
Let's get into it.
If you look at the last 7 days, this is obviously on the daily. Look at these candles, right? I know we're in crypto. I know XRP is a crypto. I know crypto is volatile. But when the whole market's stayed pretty much stagnant, relatively stagnant over the past week, and there's an asset which has been swinging 10% here, 12% here, 8% here, down, whether it be down or up, something has got to be going on behind the scenes. Like, I'm not too sure. Like, I speculated in our group chat, could it be exchanges potentially starting to buy back, because obviously they want to rather build their liquidity under these prices opposed to like a settlement price, for example. It could be wrong, probably is wrong, but what I'm trying to say is there's something else that's got to be going on that's more than speculation to see these prices go up by this much. I mean, God knows what's going to happen by next week. We could have come back down, who knows? But as it stands,
or we could be
we'll take it. We'll take it. Or we could have seen a settlement. People have everyone's relisted. Partnerships are being released, and XRP is at $13.
Yeah, but like legit, look, it's 12.5% up on a day. Whether anything's going on or not, that's a huge move. Like, especially at the minute, we've not seen anything like that for any crypto asset for a little while. Yeah, we've seen it on Algorand as well, which makes me think I'm not so sure what's going on. And actually, if you look at ETN, the other interesting one is ETN, like Electronium, is up like 25%. And obviously, Ripple and Algorand and Electronium have like some association with digital pounds. So that's the only thing that I've got in my head. But I don't think there's anything there in that. It's just the only links that I can like bring them all together on. But in terms of like what's happening with price action, we need like a bit more of a push for Ripple to break out of this range. But as I don't know if we're going to talk about it in the newsletter, but it's breaking out against Ethereum and Bitcoin heavily as well. Heavily breaking out against those. Like, we've had years of consolidation. The XRP is broken out of like a downtrend against Bitcoin and Ethereum in price action, and it's just an interesting break so far, but nothing more than that right now for me. But yeah, 40% from the lows, man, that's nice.
This is crazy, isn't it? Like, past 7 days, obviously that is just drawn from this little low call over here on the 17th. So in the past week, it's gone up 40%. So
and that's exactly what you called in the newsletter, to be fair, like 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, was it?
Yes. To be fair, I didn't think it would happen under these circumstances. Like, I didn't think Ripple would go alone, but they have, just based on technical analysis that I pointed out. Obviously, I think, when did I put that out? It must have been around these kind of prices here. It was like 31, 32 cents. I kind of said, look, I can see it going to between the 42 and 44 range fairly quickly, and it's happened. So a quick plug there for the newsletter. Another successful trade in there, another successful call. But it's good to see. I don't really know what to say about it, because I'm still literally like, we've just been staring at the chart all day, because we're not used to seeing this kind of movement.
Oh, I don't know. It's
exciting.
Like as I said before at the start of this video, is like, if you get a good day in price action, enjoy it, because they don't come around very often. Like, whether tomorrow's not a good day or whether it is, I don't know. But enjoy the day that's decent, because they don't come around often. And if you're there like being worried, even on a good day, then if you're worried on a bad day, and you're worried on a good day, what's the point even being invested? You may as well have like if you're completely neutral on it, then cool. But if you're worried on a bad day or feeling a bit stressed on a bad day, you've got to enjoy a good day. I feel like you've got to enjoy a good day, whatever, because days don't come around very often.
Yeah, exactly. Especially in the current market and everything that's going on. A 14% day, 13% day is rare. It really is rare. What do you think the price does from here then?
Honestly, I think we break out. I think
we break out to
in the next week. I think we break out up towards the bottom of that swing low on the left. I think it's like 60-ish cent, yeah, in and around there.
Down there, or
we could do that. We could do that in a day or two, but like, we could have a big breakout here if we pump heavily and some decent volume comes in, because the volume's not that much. Like, the volume's just average at the minute. If we have some big volume come through, we could rip through some of these resistance areas that are above us now. I'm looking at, like, if you want me to be absolute moon boyish, I'm going to look for between 50 cent and $1 by this time next week.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like the main hurdle for me that we need to tackle is this 200 MA. I feel like as soon as we get over that, then these swing lows here are 100% on the cards, because even from the 200 MA, it's not like it's a massive push. It'll be like a 10%, 12% push. We've seen 40 over this last week. Who'd say that's not on the cards? The speculation continues to build up. We get more news coming out over the lawsuit. SEC continue to be piled under pressure as the days go on. I think Brad Garland has actually summed it up perfectly in this interview here. Will's clipped it together. He was basically saying that that loads of people are kind of getting involved and putting pressure on the SEC. People are writing into their legislation officers, kind of thing, donating to people to get in power, kind of thing as well. And he kind of, at the end of the clip, it says it's a big smackdown for the SEC, and like they're going to basically feel the wrath of it. And I think it's spot on. It's something we've been saying for since episode 1 of this podcast. So I think he's spot on. I think anything can happen now. It's 22nd of September. I think it's getting to crunch time. I really do think. I don't think this price action.
Talk to me, Pav. What's your thoughts?
I feel like in order for us, honestly, like, because even like last week, I wouldn't have said we would have pushed up here by ourselves. So like, it just kind of, like I said, proves the fact that the market doesn't really need to move with Bitcoin all the time. Like, it's obviously, I know it's easy to say it's more than possible for something to move up without Bitcoin. This XRP has gone up 40% and we're in a lawsuit. So it just shows, in current market conditions, don't be surprised if we do find our way up to these swing lows. I think if this momentum carries on, obviously we'll have some sort of cool off. We'll need the indicators to cool down. That's the only thing I'm kind of worried about. So maybe it might not come up in a week, but even if Bitcoin stays pretty sideways and there's speculation, like everything carries on with XRP, we get a bit of bullish news, I think this price target around here, let's see, I'll bring it down there. What's that? 54 cents. It's possible over the next couple weeks, I'd say, for sure. If this continues, like that, I want something to come out of this. I want something to kind of explain to everyone why this price action's gone up 40% in a week. Because if that happens, then people will just FOMO into it.
I made a YouTube about this today, and I've basically I released it earlier, and I was just saying that, like, the things that you've got to take into consideration, like I've said for the last however many weeks, is when you're at a low-ish point, a low consolidation point in the market, you've got to be dollar cost averaging, because even if you take the midpoint of the range that we've been in to where we are now, you're up like 25% on your money, and if you haven't been dollar cost averaging in, that means you've missed a 25% move if we don't come back down. And obviously we can. I'm not saying we're out of the woods, we're not. But what I'm saying is, if you've missed the bottom because you're trying to wait for a low, like, you're going to be waiting forever. You need to be dollar cost averaging in consolidation periods, like I said from the start. And the other thing to take into consideration here is, if we do have a move for XRP, if you look through history, the times when we've actually had moves, it's a short, sharp move of like hundreds, if not thousands of percent. So we can only rely on what we've seen in the past. That's how TA works. So one of my points was, if we are going to break out and break some of these levels, then we're probably going to do it pretty quickly. So, but it doesn't mean that it is going to happen that way. Like, we might not be ready for the breakout. This might just be a little bit of a push, testing some resistance levels. But when we have the breakouts, because like a few people have been saying to me, "Oh, do I think it's a settlement?" And I've said no, I don't, because I think that the candle will just be big, fat green candles. Because if there is a settlement, in my opinion, people like BlackRock find out first, exchanges find out first, even if it's just a day or hours or weeks before, and they're going to buy up all the XRP before anything else, before everyone else gets a chance to.
Yeah, exactly. Like, just to go off that point, I feel like people forget that, what you just said there, in terms of, like, people forget how volatile crypto is. I know it's obviously there's a lot more adoption, there's a lot more people in it, market's a bit more mature, but even here in obviously 2021, this only took 2 weeks, around a 216% move in 2 weeks. So those are the kind of numbers we're talking. So that will kind of take us back up to those levels anyway, or even like do you know what I mean? But I feel like people do forget that though, how quick everything will move. So if there was a settlement, you best believe the candles will probably be bigger than that.
Oh yeah, I think
because the settlement in this case will be massive. Because shall I tell you why? Because it's going to bring the whole market up when this case gets settled. Because it kind of like everyone says, this isn't just an attack on XRP/Ripple. It's an attack on the whole cryptocurrency. Yeah. So you best believe Bitcoin, Ethereum, they're all going to rally. And then because the actual lawsuit was on XRP, that's just going to get the most of the media attention. People are going to FOMO in, and I guarantee you'll see much bigger candles than that, taking us up to all-time highs. That's what I think will happen in it easily.
I think we're going to absolutely rip, because imagine, like, when we have that coming through and everyone's FOMOing in, who's selling into that? Not many people. Even people who've been accumulating down here, in my opinion, aren't going to sell like many or much of their bags on the way up.
Yeah.
Like, people who are down here understand the power of XRP and where they want it to go in the future. Those mosquitoes everywhere, I'm swiping them left, right, and centre.
Exactly.
People who are down here know what XRP is as an asset. Like, you're not accumulating something that you don't think is going to be part of our future, or you don't think it's a decent investment. And so even if you are accumulating that with like a bit of a cash out bag along the way, it's only like 5-10% of your bag you're cashing out along the way, and that's scooped up by all the retail FOMO for sure. If not even institutions or ETFs that have to buy XRP back into their balances and exchanges. Bear in mind any American partnerships that haven't been announced yet. Like, if we get this news, it's going to be absolutely rocket ship emojis everywhere, and I'm probably just going to do a stream where I'm just going to sit and stare at the chart and just chat to people, bro. But I don't think we are there. I don't think we are there yet.
But I feel like something's brewing. That's all I'm going to say. Like, I'm not saying there's going to be a settlement next week. I just feel like things are starting to like brew a bit, finally, with the whole case kind of thing. So, but I'm honestly just really interested in terms of what's going to happen next.
Yeah, the key factor you need to watch out for is just to make sure the actual stock market holds, because the stock market like craps to bed, then it's probably going to bring crypto with it. And like, I think we need more of a push before we can get too excited, and then if we get the push, I'd love to be up towards $1 before the settlement comes in. Then if the settlement or lawsuit ends at near $1, wow, we're going to see fireworks. We're going to see big fireworks.
Exactly. The higher it goes before pre-settlement, pre-finalization of the case, the better for XRP holders. So, it's crazy. It's crazy. I love it. This is why I love crypto.
Yep. Right. And
but I think that's it in terms of news. That's episode 24 for you. I guess there was news, but like the main thing we want to concentrate on was this. So it's crazy. It's crazy. But that is a wrap, and we'll catch you guys next week for episode 25. Episode 25. Wow. That's half a year. That's half a year.
That is mad.
Wow.